All right, good afternoon, everybody. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the 2025 American Century Championship. Our first press conference of the week is the 4 of the 5 women competitors that are in the field this week. So to the left, WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, NBC Sports reporter Catherine Tappan, Today's Show host Dylan Dreyer, and golf host Hallie Ledbetter. So, ladies, thank y'all for thank y'all for joining. I'll do just a general question for the 4 of you, just on this tournament and being at Lake Tahoe. Kathy, this is your first time. The other 3, you've been here a few times. Just talk about just playing the course today and just being here and the beautiful scenery here at Lake Tahoe. Kathy, go ahead.
Well, as the rookie, I'm looking for Rookie of the Year this year, by the way. No, it's been great to be out here. What a backdrop, what a golf course, and loved playing it today with my American Century friends. So really special to be out here, and something that I really could have only dreamed of 10 years ago when I took up golf. And we just had a lot of fun out there, and can't wait for the weekend.
Catherine.
For me, obviously, just coming here every summer, this is a week that I block out of my calendar and hope that invite comes through at some point during the winter months to get invited back. But I bring my family, the same group of people to cheer me on, and we just love this place. I mean, it's spectacular, morning, noon, night, whatever it may be. And the people that are here and the American Century clients that we get to play with, you see them throughout the course of the week, and then, of course, repeating year after year. And they're wonderful people. And I think just the event in general lends itself to kindness and happiness, and everybody's just here enjoying themselves and enjoying this spectacular view. So it's truly a blessing to come back every year to this special place.
Dylan.
I will say that the wind off of Lake Tahoe made my bad game even worse. There's that. I'm also very fortunate. We do a hit for the Today Show every Thursday of this event, and it's pitch black when we first get here. And then the sun rises over the lake, and it just gets more and more stunning as the morning goes on. And then we have the wonderful events that we get to, experience with each other, with our folks that we're playing with on the course, and then, American Century people and all the clients, and then you watch the sun set over Lake Tahoe, and it's absolutely stunning. Pictures don't do it justice, although it looks really good in pictures too, but, as not the best golfer in this group, I have been in last place every single year, but I still enjoy every single second of this whole week because it's stunning to look at, and the golf course is absolutely incredible.
I agree. If you're playing in this incredible event and you're having a bad time, something wrong with you, because it is truly incredible. As someone that grew up in Florida, this is not a lake to me. Like, I don't know what this is. It's a magical body of water, but it's truly so spectacular. The setting's spectacular, and to echo the other sentiments, the people are amazing. Everybody from the American Century sponsors to the clients to the people that we get to play alongside, and the friendships that I've made just in the last couple years that I wouldn't have if it wasn't for this event. It's so special to come back here. And I said earlier today, in the weeks leading up to this event, it's kind of like a little kid on Christmas. You're just like checking it off the calendar. So really, really special, and so happy to be back.
This is for Kathy and Catherine. So, Kathy, this is your debut. Catherine, this is your 9th American Century Championship. So you are the veteran of the group. We talked about this earlier. You are what's the right phrase? The longest running female professional, or not professional, but female competitor.
Definitely not a professional.
Female
Professional
competitor
field,
in this
not
event. So, as someone who's playing 9 times, and Kathy who's playing first, what's your piece of advice for Kathy for this week?
I know. I think my best advice to Kathy yesterday was like, okay, this is what time the bus leaves, and here's where we're going to dinner tonight, and here's the routine. Because I think when you come into this event, and Dylan's one of my dear friends, and the first year you did, you're like, what do I pack? What do I need to do? It's just a matter of understanding, just the course of events throughout the week. But then most importantly, and it's something that I need to heed my own advice on, is just to have fun. We're all competitors up here. We're all extremely proud of what we do for a living. We're proud of who we are as humans, and we want to do our best out there. And it can be hard. We don't play in front of fans all the time. At least I don't. So my best advice to Kathy was probably the best advice to myself as well, is just really try to have fun. There's going to be moments of frustration and holes where you just want to, throw your club in that beautiful lake. But you fast forward to the next hole and you get a chance to do it again. So
No littering.
Yeah, no littering.
And the one thing she forgot to tell me is all the fans, selfies and
Yeah, I know.
autographs, and a lot of young kids, which I love, who were inspired by some of the work we're doing at the WNBA, come up to me. A man came up to me and said, you're inspiring my granddaughter to pick up a ball, whether it's a basketball, soccer ball, volleyball, it doesn't matter. So that was the cool part for me today out there. And I go, and this was only the practice round. But there were a few yelling things about the WNBA to me, and their favorite player or favorite team, and a lot of Bay Area people here, so a lot of Valkyrie fans.
Awesome. Last one for me, and then I'll turn it over for questions. So, you three have been seen here, the growth of women's sports here at this tournament. As the WNBA commissioner, you're at the forefront of growth of women's sports. So, how is golf contributing to the growth of women's sports as a whole?
Yeah, well, we have a new LPGA commissioner coming in, Craig Kessler, and I've already spent a little time with him around a little bit of the playbook on how to invest and grow women's sports. And we raised capital, we hired great people, social, digital. So yeah, there's such a movement out there around women's sports, and it's really important to find people who are believers and who invest in the product. And I think obviously, as you see on the LPGA Tour, the quality of the game is great. And I know there's some things that need to be fixed around the edges, but you need three things in sports. You need household names, you need rivalries, and you need games of consequence, or in this case, rounds of consequence. And I think golf is for me, as a former businesswoman, worked for Deloitte for 33 years, golf was the great equalizer for me to get out there in a very male-dominated world with only, I think when I became the CEO, only 4% of Fortune 500 CEOs were women. Now it's closer to 15%, so we've made some progress in a decade. But really important, I think golf's really important to kind of the giving women confidence that they can compete on the golf course and obviously more broadly in kind of society. So that's what I've taken from the game and give back to the game through my USGA Executive Committee role, and definitely devoted to making sure more women come into the game and have confidence to play the game.
Anything to add on that front? Or did Kathy cover it?
I will just say that being out there on the golf course today, getting to meet the fans, I took a lot of pictures with a lot of young girls. And, I hope to be out there. I have 3 boys, but they see their mom competing with all of these former athletes or current athletes. I mean, all mostly men out there, so to be one of 5 women out there to show that, well, women can compete too, and we can do it. Might not be the best, but you can do it, and you can try, and if you love something enough, go out there and do it. And, there were so many girls that I took pictures with today that say, I just love watching you play. And it's like, me? Really? You like watching me play? So that's what makes it special, that connection with the fans.
I would add, too, just seeing the 5 of us, Annika's not here with us right now, but just representing the women out there, I think it gives girls an opportunity to have that confidence moving forward. Like, you don't have to be the best, but just get out there and enjoy the game that you love to play. And I think, all these young girls that are on the course and they ask you to take a picture, that they're looking at you with these bright eyes, and what a special moment, right? If we're standing on a tee box with, for example, Aaron Rodgers and whoever else. I mean, that's amazing to be representing a different brand, a different demographic, and for these girls to have someone to look up to, saying, I can do it too. I can play with the boys as well.
And Hallie, you being in a legendary golf family with your dad, so talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah, when it comes to women's golf, I'm always, it's always so funny to me when I meet a young woman that is into golf and like, oh, I'm into golf, and then I have to tell you though, and they look around as if they have like some really embarrassing secret. They're like, I'm not very good, and I'm like, who is good? Like, most people aren't good unless you've, dedicated a large a portion of your life to it, which most women that have put a lot of time and energy into their careers probably haven't. So I think it's so important to see people, whether it's in this tournament, on social media, documenting their golf journeys and just showing that it's totally fine to just show up however your game is. As long as you show up and keep up, that's all you need to do. And I just find it funny because you don't see as many men being like, I'm not very good. Like, they're like, I love golf, there's no problem. Yeah. So I think I'm great. So I just think it's important, for women to adopt that attitude as well. That like, listen, as long as you show up and you keep your pace of play and have an open mind and are willing to learn from your fellow playing partners, then that's all good. That's all. At least when I play with people, they're like, oh, you wouldn't want to play with me. I'm like, I'd love to play with you. Are you fun? Then great. That's all that really I care about.
Okay. All right, we'll open up for questions. Go for it.
Sure. Thank you. Kathy, this one's for you. So obviously you're here. You're looking to integrate in the future WNBA players into this tournament. I wanted to know what else would you be looking to do? What other vision do you have of bringing the WNBA further into the mainstream?
Yeah, I mean, as a sports league, one of the most important revenue sources is media and corporate partnerships. So from the business side of things, that would be great. One of the impediments for our players participating in this is we're in the middle of our season right now, and it's a really competitive season. We have a lot of parity at the top of the standings, a lot of people fighting for playoff spots. Our All-Star game is next week. Unfortunately, I don't think our players in the near term would be able to compete, but they compete outside the season. You saw Caitlin Clark play in the Annika in Tampa last year, so it's fun to see. And we have plenty of other players who play the game. So, and they all know the resilience that sports teaches you. Golf really humbles you, and so again, it's great networking, great to carry the brand here at the American Century, and that's what I look forward to, because these young women have told me how great the networking has been, and already it's exceeded my expectations.
For sure. Thank you.
Dan.
Hello, ladies. My name is Dan Hinksman. I do stories for the tournament. I have one for all four of you. If I could, have any of you leaned on Annika up here or at other tournaments, maybe for some tips or anything to help?
My dad has a very funny story of me. So I grew up in Lake Nona, in place in Florida, and Annika, when she was at the height of her career, that's where she would practice. So as a little girl, I would go to some of her junior golf clinics, and my dad, says Annika's working down the range and gets to me and had to wait 10 minutes for me to just make contact. Then fast forward to just a couple months ago, I was paired with Annika in the Hilton Grand Vacations, and I've never been more nervous in my life. I was like, this is such a full circle moment. But she is just such an incredible competitor. The way she carries herself, her game is amazing. So in terms of leaning on her, I mean, I've had the opportunity. She actually now lives in the house that I grew up in, and when she bought the house for my parents. So it's funny. When I started getting recruited for college, and I moved out to Sarasota, Florida, I had to go back to the house because a lot of my recruiting letters were going to her house. And she's like, "Oh, I see that you can make contact now." So that was cool. So I've known Annika for such a long time, and she's always just been such a role model for me. And so to play with her, to play, in a field with her is something like, as a young girl, when I used to, potentially had dreams of being on the LPGA, that's something I always wanted to do. It just came about in a very different way. But I'm so, so grateful for, just the example that she sets for not only how to be an incredible golfer, but just be an incredible person. Everything she's done for the women's game is amazing.
I don't have that history with Annika.
It's a very, very bizarre
She didn't buy my parents' house in New Jersey for whatever reason. I will say the honor of getting to play in a tournament when someone like Annika is also playing in it is incredible. But the fact that I now know her family through this tournament, and we're eating breakfast, and she says hello, and it's like, she remembers who I am. It's so impressive because she's just the ultimate, and she's so good. And I never get a chance to play with her because we're at different spots in the leaderboard, but I know when she's creeping her way to the top, I'm just rooting her on. I want to see her beat all of these incredible male athletes, and I think there will come a year where she will. This could be the year, and it's just so fun to cheer on somebody who is just so good, and it's so much fun to watch her.
And for me, I grew up playing golf leisurely with my mom and dad, and my grandmother lived on a golf course in North Carolina, and Annika was obviously at the height of her career, and we were all huge Annika fans, my grandmother included, who loved to go out and play. She started playing golf late in her 60s in retirement, and my mom is an avid golfer, and I learn a lot from my mom. And so the three of us generationally have always been huge Annika fans. So my first year here at the American Century, we did the player meeting, and we were at the trucks outside, and my mom and I were of all the celebrities here, we were absolutely starstruck by Annika. And I thought my mom, she caddied for me at the time here at the American Century, and she said, I said, Mom, you have to keep it cool. Like, there's going to be people here that are kind of interesting in life, and just like act cool. She's like, yeah, but it's Annika Sorenstam. I'm like, oh boy, I'm going to lose my mom tonight. But walked over, introduced my mom to Annika, introduced myself as the player in the tournament, and she could not have been nicer. Her husband Mike is a huge hockey fan, and I broadcast a lot of his team's games, so he immediately was clinging to me and chatting with me, and I was like, this is so cool. Like, these are people that I've admired and looked up to for so long. Fast forward to last summer, Annika and I did something in the sand here together. She was showing me how to, take proper sand shots and get out of the bunkers. And, I'm, in a way, it was like I was trying to listen to so much of what she was telling me, but at the same time, I was processing, like, I am learning these shots from one of, if not the greatest female to play the game. So it's just, yes, it's amazing that she's here. We're so honored to play in a field, as Dylan said, with her, and we cheer her on. We want her to win more than anybody.
Nothing to add. I met Annika about a decade ago when I was the CEO of Deloitte at the Masters at a corporate event, so it was very corporate, but really, as you said, honored to be in the field with her this week. And if she can come help me figure out how to get out of the bunker, I'm definitely in. So I look forward to spending some time with her while I'm here.
All right, thank you. A couple more for you, Kathy, if I may. I wanted to follow up on the previous question a little bit. If the WNBA Players Association wanted to take this week off to be able to play in this tournament, would you be for that?
I would definitely be for it, but we have a really, really challenging footprint every year, and every other year we have an international competition. Like next year we have the FIBA World Cup, which is the basketball equivalent of the FIFA World Cup, and then 2 years after that we have LA 28, so it would be tough to take a week off because we already have to take time off for those basketball competitions. But yes, I'd be all for it.
And last
Take
one.
the players the day they retire. How about that?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And last one for you, Kathy. I think social media likes to make a thing out of Caitlin Clark versus the world in the WNBA a little bit. Do you buy into that? And if you do, is that good or not good for the league?
Well, again, you need household names. You need rivalry. You need games of consequence to get people to watch. You need to have your games shown on national broadcast. We had 80 of our 240 games when I came in. Now we have over 205. So, I mean, if you build it, they will come. And there's no more apathy for the WNBA. Everybody's paying attention to every play. I always tell people, before last year, maybe I got 40 emails a season, and now I get 4,000 a week with people who are watching the games, and obviously they don't like the officiating, or they do like the officiating, or they don't like something we're doing, but they're all proud of the growth of the sport, and they're all proud of the expansion we just announced, bringing in Cleveland, Detroit, and Philly. We'll now be at 18 teams. Scale matters in sports. That's how you bring fandom in, because you have to be fans of a team and players, and I think there's a lot in social media that's, the vitriol is absolutely unacceptable, and we're doing a fair amount of things. We just launched a platform called No Space for Hate. That's on every court. We have a technology now called Social Protect that's going to help the players, should they opt in, to quarantine some of this vitriol they get. So that's the bad part of the notoriety and the rise in the sport, but there's a lot of good, and we just over a 5-year period have contributed over $1 million to 501c3 not-for-profits as part of our Commissioner Cup Championship. We just crowned the Indiana Fever last week, the Commissioner Cup champion for 25. So there's a lot of good that comes with it too, but the vitriol is unacceptable, and so we're trying to deal with that in a four-pronged way with kind of technology, cyber protection, physical security, and then mental health resources, in addition to the No Space for Hate platform.
Dave Leonardi, Skier News and Always Upright podcast, and this is for kind of like all four of you, or the three of you who have played before, and aimed at Kathy, and that is, you're all outstanding in your separate fields, but all the men athletes say they are nervous as hell when they get up to that first tee every day and their names are announced because they don't want to look out of place. Kathy, have they mentioned, have these three women, lovely women, mentioned anything like that about the teeing off the first day?
No intimidation from these three for sure. And look, I grew up, I'm one of 8 kids. I have 5 brothers. you know, my brother's in the backyard. Nothing could be more intimidating than the brothers in the backyard. So I'm good. I've been working in a male-dominated world for a long time, so no nerves. Although I'm sure on Friday on the first tee I'll feel a little bit.
That's when you feel it. Just that first tee when they say your name and everybody's quiet and silent, waiting for you to tee off, and you're like, I know I can tee off. I've done it several times before, but this moment is like make or break for the rest of your life.
Yeah, we've had male athletes who have pitched a Game 7 in the World Series and Super Bowl quarterback the victory, and they say they're still nervous as hell when they get up there. So
It's all about muscle memory. Sport is about muscle memory. So you got to get up there and block it all out and you swing your swing. You know, these ladies know how to swing, and hopefully so do I.
Good luck and maybe a little extra decaf instead of regular caffeine.
Thank you.
I like that everyone else feels nervous. It makes me feel like, all right,
yeah,
good. We're
for
all in the
sure.
same boat here.
So good. Hello, my name is Tabney Dozier. 2 questions. First for Kathy, since we're in the neck of the woods near Golden State, last team to join the league was Atlanta, and a lot of times it takes a while to, you know, winning records, get the funding. Golden State is knocking it out of the park. What would you say to the Valks?
I mean, I was so proud today to be walking around here. There were so many Valkyrie fans because there's obviously a lot of Warrior fans. It's the same ownership group. And these people were coming up. They've been to Chase Center. They've sold out every home game. And not only off the court on the business side are they killing it, but on the court, they're 9-9, which is unbelievable for an expansion team. They're in 6th place. We take 8 teams to the playoffs. So they are killing it. Joe Lacob has hired some great people. Jess Smith is the team president, and obviously Natalie being and Ohema being the GM, and Natalie the head coach. And I mean, they're just, you know what? It's proving. When you have to build a business, if you hire great people, you can succeed, and they're proving it. I mean, this franchise is the most valuable franchise in the W in its first year.
Incredible. Thank you. And for all of you all, a lot of the athletes and participants mentioned golf being an outlet for mental health, you know? And I want to ask each of you, what do you do if maybe you feel off center, right? We're in a crazy world with social media. Your jobs are demanding. Please share some of your mental wellness tips.
Ooh, therapy. Therapy. But you know, just going back to what you said about, I think golf is such a unique game for many reasons, and I think, well, sport in general, but at least golf, the only sport that I can really play worth anything, is, for me, it really is a mirror into who you are and maybe what you struggle with. Like, I always laugh that when I'm really nervous, on camera, I tend to speak very, very quickly, and I break into a cold sweat, and my mind kind of goes blank. And when I used to play like college golf, when I would get really nervous, and even out here sometimes when I get really nervous, I start swinging really quickly, and it's a very similar physical sensation. So golf can be a way where you can learn, okay, when I'm in pressure situations, whether it's in the golf course or it's in, you know, a work arena, what are the things that, you know, what are my tendencies, and how can I, you know, what are the tools that I have to combat those things? So I think golf in itself can be something to help you become, you know, better with your mental health.
Beautiful.
I think for me, you know, when I'm always nervous out on the course, breathing goes a long way. I mean, I have an 8-year-old who's starting to get, you know, a little more anxious with everything he does, even trying to get him to sleep at night. And we just sit and we breathe together. When I'm nervous on the course, I sit and I just take a deep breath and I breathe. When I'm nervous to do something on air, same thing. You know, does it always work? No, but at least it recenters me. And it's just that simple thing that all of us can do. If you just, you know, learn the techniques to do it, like the box breathing or breathing in for 5 seconds, holding it, and then letting out for 5 seconds. I mean, I think there's something about adding that extra oxygen to your body and just letting your heart rate come down a little bit so you can at least do what you know you need to do.
So good.
For me, I would say the golf course is definitely a special haven for me because I play often with my mom in a women's 18-holers group at my golf course, and I am one that I don't look at my phone the entire time I'm on the course. It's never in the cart. It's in my bag. It's off. And I know when I get back to the phone, there's going to be a lot of stuff I've got to deal with, emails, whatever it may be, but for those 4 hours, I'm out there, I'm looking at nature, I'm enjoying the conversation with the 3 women I'm playing with. It's a really special place, and you know, my job comes in waves. I was on the road for the Stanley Cup final for 3 weeks and came home and scheduled and blocked out days where I wanted to be at the golf course and spend that quality time. So that's one way that I, you know, mentally get myself back in a good headspace. And the other way is very simple. I get myself off of social media. You know, I put that away, and I don't look at Instagram for a long time. I don't post on Instagram, and people probably wonder where I go, and I don't really care because that that tends to be, that's very toxic for me. There's a lot of stuff I see that's everybody's happy world, and we don't all live in a happy world. And so it can take a toll on you. So I like to take major breaks from all of the social media platforms, focus on the simple things, schedule time with friends and family. And those are two very important things for me this time of year that help, with my mental health.
So good.
And my mental health tip has nothing to do with golf, but every day I have my admin schedule on my calendar, something called a SMOR, S-M-O-R, small moment of recovery. So it's got to be a minimum of 20 minutes, maximum of an hour, and I do something other than feel like I'm on a trading desk, in the day job. So SMOR, small moment of recovery, just put them on your calendar.
So good. July is Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. That's where I came up with that. So thank you.
Love it.
Great, thank
Love
you.
it.
Thank you.
All right, last one, and then we'll wrap it up. So tomorrow at 10:30, I'm making this announcement to everybody. So we are doing a skills competition, men versus women skills competition on the putting green, or putting green near the driving range. So these three, Kathy, Catherine, and Dylan, are going up against Alex Caruso, Derek Carr, and Zach Levine, and Hallie Ledbetter is hosting. So it's going to be a pitch, chip, putt competition tomorrow.
I didn't really know the details. I think I
didn't even
signed
know I
up
was
before I
thank
knew
you for
what
that.
was
Am I
happening.
Am I allowed to be a
So
biased?
I'm letting everybody know the details.
Can I be a biased host, Jeremy?
Oh, you totally can.
Can you give us a team name right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
team
if you
name.
wanna play for
Let's
me, you
go.
can.
What are okay, what's the team name?
Team name. Let's
boy.
come up with it.
It's got to be something about. Okay.
Girls on the green. I like that.
All right, love it.
Girls on the green. So,
Love it.
sorry, Catherine, you're playing. So,
Okay, I think am I
right.
coming off the course to do this? I'm
no,
happy to.
it's Kathy, Dylan, and Annika.
All right, we got our ringer.
So
I'm
she
off
got
the hook.
ringer.
Yeah,
We do have a
exactly.
ringer.
We got our
Sorry,
ringer.
Catherine.
What
no
a hell of a
offense, but-
trade, by the
How
way.
about pros on the green? Pros on the green. That's us.
So, ladies, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
and enjoy the week.
Thank you. We always
everybody.
do. Thank you.